Hello there, YouTubers, and I was happy to watch. A little bit of debate I wanted to start up here. And again, at the end of the day, it's everyone's opinion, so it doesn't mean you're right or wrong when it comes to your choice. But we're focusing on two particular LMGs for this particular subject. And I will put two and two together afterwards as we go along here. But we'll start with as a part one. The two I'm going to be particularly be looking at, as you can already kind of tell by the secondary one here I'm about to point out. Now, the first one is the M60. Now, the M60 is a long-range, hard-hitting LMG on steroids. I use this thing quite a bit as I play through the game, and it is by far a just ridiculously disgusting weapon on paper. Has really good stats, great hip fire, just a fantastic stationary weapon when it comes to defense. I use this weapon more often when I'm doing conquest domination, and I mostly hold down points and do a little bit of running gunning with this gun as well. It holds its own in its own fair fight, but when it comes to an SMG, I am not going to win that fight every single time. However, as I make that argument, I of course then look at this damn thing. The M240, which is the most craziest weapon ever used in my life. I'm using it so far and comparing them in my head. And just being able to kind of play around a couple rounds, I can already get a feel for most weapons in this game. That's just one of my crafts I have in any particular FPS shooter. I can get a feel for a gun and just either like it or dislike it, or just, again, at the end of the day, it's all subjective for me. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. Doesn't make you right or wrong when it comes to your personal choices. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say what's my absolute favorite out of the two because I actually like both. The M240 is an insanely good mowing and going gun, as I call it. While that being said, the M60 is just a freaking powerhouse. This thing is on just ridiculous amounts of steroids. Now, if you're curious what I'm actually using on the thing, if you are concerned about that, I stuck to the grip pod. This thing is just ridiculously useful. Now, again, as you can see by the hip fire standards, it just gives you a lot of good hip fire. Now, if you need a little bit more mobility, just a slightly bit more, I go with the bipod, or even just, dancing around different options here. Depends what you're really trying to go for. It's, again, if you want to go with stubby, you can get a little bit more run, but then you're losing that 10 on the points up above. So I usually just stick with the grip pod. It just, to me so far, has been really useful, giving me the hip fire, giving me a little bit of that mobility I kind of need. Otherwise, it brings me to the dance. Life is good. And I usually go with the penetration rounds, but I've been kind of goofing around the hollow points just to see how they're like. And I like them. They're so far pretty decent. I always go with a scope that's decent range on it because the view of sight in this game is just very weird for me. Because it's like, let me show you. Now, with this sight right here, as you can see, I can see into your colon with this thing. Right? So you look at that, and let's just pick one that's like times one. Right? Let's just pick this. And we'll see how I mean? It's like nothing really changed besides you having a sight to let you kind of see what's there, or give you a adjusted sight so you can kind of make out what the hell's there. So that's about it, right? So you see what I mean? Like it just mows things down. Has good range on it. A great little gun. I use laser sight on this thing because that way I can go like this. You can see it does pretty well for 9 shots. Usually takes out enemies. You have plenty more than enough in the chamber to keep going. See, you have some trouble a little bit further out, but when things are kind of close on you like that, and an engagement, it's a little bit slower, but if you have a little bit of the advantage on somebody, if you notice them before they notice you, you have obviously a much better chance. And I've been kind of playing with this thing like this more often. Like if I'm holding a point down, as you can see, you get the idea. It holds itself quite well in a stationary gunfight. It's not bad. It's certainly not bad whatsoever. Now let's go to the M20. Actually, let me put that back there. I just thought about that because I'm about to make a big oopsie. Let me change that back. So I always go with like a ×5 sight or something that gives me some sight or range, because it's like I will go crazy if I can't see something. I'm an old man with terrible eyesight. So this is the 240. Again, meant to be more of a running gunner. Doesn't have much in the chamber, but fires like crazy. And you're right back into the fight. Subjectively, to both good guns. Again, when it comes to, well, it's easier because these things are kind of stationary, Dan. Well, that's very true. But you get the idea. It's just sort of like it's showing the idea of the example out of, so that way I'm not wasting my KD just to kind of show you something. But you get the idea. Consistent shots all the way around with the 240. Just a great gun. Just love its all-around nature. Now, the stats showing a little bit lower than the M60s by a little margin. However, as I say this argument, or I make this argument, range of fire is just, or the rate of fire rather, brain fart. Range of fire, what? The rate of fire is what really makes this gun sing and scream. It's a great mower down kind of weapon. And if you pair it up with the deployable cover and you're holding down a point, you ain't going nowhere. Like, nothing's going to happen. If you're having a good little position, you're fine. Great little camper's gun. I'm not endorsing camping by any stretch of the imagination, of course. Disclaimer. But yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. Now, what is everyone's personal favorites? I'm mostly focusing on the M60 and the M240 here for this discussion, so please stick on subject. But what are your two personal favorites, or one of your personal favorites out of the two guns? Let me know in the comments.